Hey guys, welcome back to the Mad Media Podcast. I'm Ryder.
I'm John.
And if you haven't noticed, it's the holiday season. You know how it's the holiday season? It's literally snowing in the studio right now. Check it out in our background. John, I think it's safe to say that you're beyond snow weather where you are.
Oh yeah, in North Dakota, it's been quite cold. Where I was for work this morning, I was telling you a little bit. It was negative 25
That is
without wind chill.
nuts. That is nuts.
Yeah,
What would it be without the wind chill?
that's without.
That's without?
Yeah,
Fuck
it was
off.
It was negative 20 to 25 without wind chill because there was no wind this morning. It really picked up towards the end of my shift at like 5 p.m. It got to about 8 degrees above, but then it started whipping about probably 10 15 mile an hour winds, so it was probably negative 10 wind chill. Yeah, it gets dangerously cold, I guess,
How do
to
people
the
live?
point where you don't do a lot in the winter, and if you do, you bundle up quite a bit. Like I mean, we have like winter hobbies and stuff you can get into, like snowmobiling and stuff like that around here, ice fishing.
That's crazy.
A lot of people ice fish, but for the most part, you're in a contained environment when you're ice fishing. So
Like
then you
abysmal.
have those buddy heaters.
How far down do you have to drill in negative 25 degree weather to get to actual water?
Well, the lakes right now, they just started freezing over probably within the month, so they're
Crazy.
not even like there's people ice fishing right now on less than like probably 6 inches or less of ice,
I'm
which is
guessing
kind of crazy.
I'm guessing that's not safe. Yeah.
It's not the safest thing. You can't drive on it, and
Yeah.
it's questionable for a lot of equipment. But if you have like those like pop up fishing shacks, you can use those. Um, but it has to be probably a foot, or thicker before
Gotcha.
you can start driving on it.
Cool.
And
Makes
then
sense.
one thing that you're taught as a really young person in North Dakota is when you drive on ice, roll down your window. It doesn't matter how cold it is, because once you start break through with your tires, you have to climb out the window.
That's crazy. That's
Just because
crazy.
the engine will start anchoring it down, and
Oh my
if you
god.
get to the point where your electrical is cut off and your doors are chattering the ice, you're in a bad situation.
Our schooling was very different. Yeah, no, I don't have that. Mine is find the nearest Kohl's or Starbucks and sit there until the cold goes away.
Yeah, around here they teach you that if you fall in ice, they teach you how to get out without breaking the ice around you.
I
It's
I'm pretty
so
sure
it's
that even if the ice machine in my fridge broke, I would die. Let alone ice fishing.
I've never fallen in a frozen lake, but my brother has, and it does not look fun. Like
That's crazy.
it is a terrifying,
Yeah,
terrifying thing.
I bet. All right, we'll scratch that off the list for resolutions for 2026. That's probably not something
Well,
anyone who wants to endure.
I was gonna say before we move on, how cold is it in New York?
It's only like, well, I mean, I was. It's now. It doesn't mean anything. It's 17 now, which is still pretty damn cold. But like,
That's cold.
but at the same time, it's what, like 30 something degrees below or above what you're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
So like, I have
Well, I mean,
nothing to compare it to.
yeah, but like our weather fluctuates so much. On Wednesday, it's going to be 40 degrees, so
Oh
it's
my
like
god. You
it's
know
going to
what?
jump 60 degrees in 3 days.
That's how everybody gets sick. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Um.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. So
All
I'm
right.
assuming that's part of your holiday traditions, but I want to hear about some of the other holiday traditions. We're recording this on Sunday, December 14th. Christmas is right around the corner, guys. This is our last episode of the year. John, what kinds of stuff are you planning over the next couple weeks?
Well, unfortunately, I have to work on Christmas.
Cool. All right, moving on.
I work. No. Well, I talk about like past stuff that we did and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I work a job that is 24 hours around the clock.
Yeah,
So
especially around the
sometimes,
holidays.
so yeah, sometimes you got to work. But
Hmm.
the good thing is they give you a good incentive. I get $200 just to show up.
That's
So
nice.
it's not all that bad. Christmas in my family, I'll say like when I was a younger kid.
Okay.
At my dad's place, it usually meant like we would have a spread of like
Hmm.
meat and cheese trays and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
And like for the most part, the night before, like Christmas Eve, we didn't really have a big meal. It was
Mhm.
all like finger foods and stuff like that, meat and cheese trays, and then all the almond bark and all that stuff. And I remember my dad had a crazy weird obsession with A Christmas Story.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that obsession runs 24 hours.
Oh God.
So A Christmas Story was on my TV for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
lot.
yeah, I've seen that movie more than probably any movie yeah, any other movie. But for the most part, it's pretty chill night on Christmas Eve. We would usually open presents on Christmas Eve. We didn't wait until Christmas.
Hmm.
Um you get your presents done and stuff like that. And then for the most part, you just chill and watch TV. It wasn't too crazy. Sometimes we would
Yeah.
have, depending on how cold it is outside, we would have a football game. Sometimes, just you know what I mean.
Oh, that's cool.
But you have no idea how hard it is to run in Carhartts, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Like you're basically like the kid on Christmas Story trying to run for a touchdown. It's a crazy sight to see.
Yeah.
But we would get all that stuff out of the way, and then Christmas we would have like a big Christmas meal. It was usually my family were big hunters, so we would hunt pheasants. So more than likely our Christmas meal was pheasant and dumplings
Oh my
instead of
God.
chicken and dumplings.
Interesting.
So
Wait,
we would eat
how
that
different is that?
pheasant
Yeah.
with chicken.
Yeah.
Pheasants, it's a lot different than chicken. It's a gamey tasting.
Is
It's
it?
it's a lot. It's
Okay.
pretty gamey.
Okay.
Like you compare beef to venison. It's kind of like that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
venison has that
Real
earthy
salty,
kind of
gamey kind of. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
almost irony, bloody kind of taste. You know what I mean?
Nice. What a hard sell.
Well, I mean it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
it's yeah. But we'd pretty much eat that, and then Christmas Day we would just chill. A lot of Christmas Day activities would be involved with like people that were in town for family and stuff like that. We'd hang out with people that we haven't seen in a while,
Yeah.
or you just hang out with the neighborhood kids.
Hmm.
What cool shit did you get for Christmas? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of Christmas presents were like a younger kid, a big kind of a passage thing for my area was to get your first shotgun, because
Jesus Christ.
it's very much a hunting community and stuff like that. I've had shotguns since I mean, my first shotgun I had when I was probably 10. I've had a shotgun, you know,
Okay.
but that's just the area I'm from. Like you go hunting, like you're taught to hunt as a 10, 12-year-old kid, basically.
Gotcha. Fun.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So I mean, that's usually a given present along the way, and then you get your normal stuff. Like when you're young, you get toys and stuff like that. I remember Ninja Turtles were a big thing when I was a kid. So like you got Ninja Turtle toys and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
or like the Street Sharks. What were those called?
Oh, I have no idea.
I can't remember what they were called. There's something.
Yeah.
They were like or the biker mice from Mars, I think they were
Yeah.
called. They were
Yeah.
all those old cartoons. You would get presents like that. And stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't too crazy. It
Hmm.
was more chill than anything, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge production.
No, that's similar to mine. Yeah.
I was gonna say that surprises me in Italian
Well,
and Irish. I
so
was gonna.
I'm not
Ooh,
saying
that house got
I'm not
loud.
saying we were quiet, but I wish we did more things. So I've been scrolling through Instagram trying to find for like fun holiday games to play, and there are so many cool things that you could do. Like you could have a bow battle. There's like it's like hungry hippos, but there are marshmallows in front of you, and you've got your hands inside solo cups, and you have to like try to scoop them up as much as you can, but you have no hands because they're stuck inside solo cups. Little things like that. Like that's cool. But when I was a kid, similar to yours in that we split Christmas Eve and Christmas because we had such a big family, but Christmas Eve. Or no, it was Thanksgiving. We had a lot of events that happened that kind of built up to Christmas. So, for example, on Thanksgiving, all of my cousins, and this is the main difference I see now between when we were kids versus when, kids now. And now it's a lot harder, I feel, to buy for kids, because on Thanksgiving we would go through all of the little flyers from every store that came in the mail, like Best Buy or JCPenney or Target, and we would see the physical toys and video games, and then we would circle them and just like kind of hand them to the parent or aunt or whoever was around, and they could know. But now, I mean, little kids at least aren't exposed to like Amazon, so like it's harder for them to know. And the only thing I hear them saying is like, oh, I want this thing for Minecraft, and I'm like, that is the biggest trick that like the gaming industry ever pulled, was like taking a video game, turning it into a TV show. And like Legos, the same thing. Lego turning it to a TV show, new video game, new games. And like, and of course they come out with the actual sets, which, dude, Lego sets now are insanely expensive.
Oh yeah,
it's horrific. It's awful. It's like I can get the same amount of plastic in a Tupperware set for like 10% of the price.
I saw that transition when I was when I first turned like 16, because you would see like the new Legos coming out and they were so expensive. I remember I had Rubbermaid tubs full of
yeah.
Legos, like
yep.
full
Legos. Yep.
And you well, everything's branded too though, because you get like the Battlestar and all that stuff, or is it the Death Star and all that stuff? They go Death Star. Well, that's going to be $50 to $100.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's literally one thing you can do with it, so everything's branded. It's like the WWE. Everything's branded now.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And all I have to say, Lego is becoming a monopoly for rectangularly shaped toys. So all I have to say is, Mega Bloks, get your shit together. It's been 30 years. Like, get your shit together, because it shouldn't be this hard to beat them.
I'm kind of surprised that Lego hasn't went back to like the original kind of idea, because remember when they used to have just those? They used to have like a slab of green
for the grass,
for the grass and stuff, and then you just build a house or whatever you want.
Yep.
I'm kind of surprised they haven't transitioned to that, but I guess it's hard to do that when you're selling one item for $100.
I know, but the biggest selling things now are like the Ninjago series things, or any like Lego video game that came out, and like they have Minecraft. I was like, Minecraft looks already like it's cuboid anyway. But I digress. I'm going off on a tangent.
No. I like the Lego stuff. I see it all the time. Like, I remember the big one was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
They probably had 10 different things for Pirates of the Caribbean, a Lego thing. They're
wow.
just huge.
Because I had Lego Star Wars, because I had the video games.
Oh, yeah.
Those were fun. I'll admit, those were fun.
Oh yeah, well yeah. When that movie came out, they collected on that. There was probably 10 different things you could build.
Yeah.
I
will say they are fun, but again, like the Tupperware containers that you and I house them in are the same amount of plastic that costs like $10 versus $250. So, but anyway.
But along with those two, it kind of came with imagination, because we didn't have a template. You just built what you built. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, now everything's regimented, and it's got structure, like how to build it and stuff like that. It's like, that's not really what Legos were when I was a kid.
But the reason why we had Tupperware containers and why there were just so many disassembled pieces is because, and I bet you will agree, building them, meticulously focusing on them and building them was much more fun than actually having it once it was built.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And then one thing kids nowadays will never know is the pain of stepping on a Lego.
Yeah, I know that now.
Oh man.
Oh god, it is awful. It doesn't matter what shape it is. I don't care if it's like a little, like the circular ones. I don't care. Anyone will hurt. It's like they test them to make sure that they do hurt.
It always seems to be your parent that steps on it too, not you. You know what I mean? Like you'll step on them here and there, but your parent's gonna catch one, and then
they're elusive in the carpeting. You think you've got all of them? No. The one that will put you in the hospital is still on the ground.
Yeah, you got 10,000 pieces and one's missing. It's like, you're never gonna know.
Yeah. All right, we're 15 minutes in. We've got 2025 in the bag. 2026, what's one thing you want to do for 2026? Doesn't have to be anything new, but what's one thing you want to do?
I got a couple things.
Yeah.
It's not, I picked a couple things. I want to at least do one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to I'm looking at I want to travel. I want to travel. I want to see some things. Like I haven't
Cool.
traveled enough.
Yep.
So even just like the states around where I'm at, travel, see a little bit of stuff like that
Yeah.
on my off time. Um, Another thing I want to do is learn Spanish.
No shit.
Oh, so I kind of want to learn Spanish just because it's useful.
Yep.
Like nowadays, especially, you know what I mean. And it's kind of weird not to at least know a little bit of a different language. I think
See.
most people know Spanish and stuff like that.
See.
And then yeah, see.
Yo entiendo un poquito español.
Sure. Uh, but and then the other two things I either want to learn, like American Sign Language would be cool to learn.
You're going for trilingual next year.
American Sign Language has always been something I wanted to learn.
I just
Like,
gotta say,
since I was teaching.
I just started following a Dad Jokes Instagram page, and one of the memes that I saw on there was the sign, "Please do not touch," and then the Braille version of it underneath. I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. That's what that made me think of. I was crying laughing.
Yep.
Anyway, go ahead.
And then the last thing I was looking at doing is maybe getting scuba certified.
That's on my bucket list. It's probably not next year, but that's definitely on my bucket list. That is a dream of mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I found a few schools and stuff like that in this area.
Cool.
And they teach you they'll take you to it's not very expensive because they kind of teach you within their means, I guess. It's not like you're going to Lake Michigan right away. It's a accredited thing for a college around here.
Cool.
And they take you to the aquatic center and they teach you how to like breathe under the pool and stuff
Nice.
like that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. We
It's accessible.
when we went to Disney World in like 2015, you can scuba dive in the giant tank at Epcot, one of the theme parks. You haven't been to Disney World, right?
Nope. I have not.
Okay.
I actually just watched a video about all the 5-star hotels there.
Oh, dude,
And
let's do a whole episode on that. I could talk your ear off about all that. Oh, I fanboy so
nuts.
hard. Oh my god, I love it. All right, that's a whole different episode. But we didn't have our scuba license, and it was like snorkeling with all of the sea creatures, but they gave us all scuba equipment just with a life vest. So they're like, we want to get you the feel of having a tank and everything and checking your oxygen levels, but you have a life vest because you're not certified to go below the surface. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I like all those things, and those are easily achievable.
Yep, I want to get certified so I can go. There's like a lake region.
Yep.
In Minnesota, probably 100 miles away from me, and most of the lakes have like crystal clear water.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get certified to the point where I can just do solo dives in those lakes.
Gotcha.
Just go see, hang out underwater for an hour. Why
Yeah,
not?
that sounds literally amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could also, one thing too is you could also donate your time or volunteer for like the rescue diving and stuff
Cool.
like that around here.
Cool. Yeah,
So stuff like
definitely.
Because we have a lot of suicides that wind up in the Red River. You have to go diving.
Is that why it's red?
No.
Okay. I had to ask.
It's an interesting river though. It's one of 2 rivers in the world that flow north.
Oh.
So it's an interesting.
I don't think that's the leading fact now.
Well, let's put it this way. It is a disgusting river. I tell people it's a graveyard and a junkyard. It's one of the two because people dump cars. Like if they steal a car, they dump it in the Red River, and bodies get dumped in the Red River. It's like either by suicide or foul play. Good. And if you've seen the snapping turtles that have been pulled out of the Red River, I wouldn't put my toe in that.
And that's where you want to scuba dive?
Well, no. I don't want to. Okay. But like, I would volunteer for like the rescue diving squad around here. Because like if you drive your car into a lake around here and it goes under in the ice and stuff like that, you gotta go dive for it.
I just imagine like them sending you in chainmail underwater with like a sword.
I would, to be honest, in the Red River, it's so murky and so like silty and stuff like that. So it's like visibility is nothing.
Yeah.
It would honestly be one of the scariest places to go dive, just because I know what's in there, and it's disgusting. Catfish,
I was gonna
huge
say
snap.
my one of my weird fears is noodling. Like just the idea of just sticking your hand in a catfish's mouth and just not knowing where it is and just hoping that like you got it. So
And then, yeah, and then it's just a hillbilly with a Marlboro Red and three
yeah,
teeth sticking his arm out. It's just like, God, you guys are a different breed,
yeah.
man.
God damn, man, you woke me up from my nap.
It's like people call us hillbillies in North Dakota. That's a different kind of hillbilly
That
right
is a different
there.
kind of hillbilly, yeah. So, all
Different
right,
person.
real quick.
What
Only thing.
I was gonna say, what stuff do you want to do?
So I have a whole list of things, but the one thing that's a priority on my list is to get a house. We need to get a house at a different part of New York. Cost of living is still crazy. But it's one of the best districts in the area. We just finally got approval to do to move for family court. So we are so excited. However, we just it is so unbelievably expensive. The market is unbelievable, and if you're going to a school district, naturally everybody wants those houses. So we
For sure.
have we're trying everything that we can to possibly like raise funds. Like on the channel Writer Reacts, we are asking for donations all the time. We're also mixing it with donations. Like I'm putting a donation on here, it's right over here on the in the corner for the Ronald McDonald House. Great charity for kids with cancer. But also really need priority number one. We're taking it easy this Christmas because we have to save for a house. We have a small window between April and May to actually put an offer on a house so that she can sell her house. We can move between July and August, summer vacation, so she can be here and ready for the school season in this new district. So it is a small window because we have to take the money that we get from her selling the house, then flip it to use it on the money that we're offering on this house in the same
Yep.
time span. Get the inspections done, move in, start by the end of August. It is going to be a hell of a year. So
You're gonna be busy.
I'm going to be screaming.
So, quick question. I know, in New York, what's the move? Like, cause you live in the city right now, right?
Right,
And
right.
then, so like, I've heard like the people that are a little bit more well off and they have some money, they go to New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I've heard that some people move to like just right on the edge of Pennsylvania and stuff like that. You know what I mean? To
So,
kind of get out of the city. What's the move? Because it seems like the further out of the city, the more it costs. You know what I mean?
well, I mean, it really
On the
depends. So,
outside
like,
looking in. You know what I mean?
so it depends. Obviously, Manhattan is incredibly expensive. It is
Absolutely.
tough when you're looking at these little apartments, raising a family. If you want a yard, you want to move maybe a little bit out towards some of the outer boroughs. But what we're doing is we're moving all the way up to the suburbs. So anywhere in the capital region. So a lot of people don't know this, but Albany is the capital of New
Okay.
York. Everybody always thinks it's Manhattan, it's New York City, but Albany is the capital. But around those areas are some of the best school districts in the state.
Mhm.
People, when they get certified to be a teacher in New York, a lot of times when you go to other states or you come from another state to work as a teacher in New York, you have to be recertified per the New York standards. But because New York standards are so good, you can go to other states and already with that certification just jump right into a teaching position because
Yeah.
we have such a higher standard of education. And a lot of those teachers congregate in these districts. The more north you go of the city, now don't get me wrong, the city has some of the best schools also, but in terms of cost of
Yeah.
living, standard of living, it's a nice balance the more north you go up towards
Yeah.
Albany, up towards upstate New York.
hmm So, Albany is that kind of transitioning into more like rural farm kind of?
No, it's more
Not quite.
suburbs. It's a
Yeah.
mixture of city and suburbs. I'll send you some pictures of it. Um,
Okay.
the more the more I to get to Albany, you do pass a lot of farms like in Hudson,
Okay.
Kingston, Yonkers, Poughkeepsie. Um, but then when you go west to like central New York, where like Syracuse is like around that area, man, that is nothing but farms. Or like down
Yeah.
by the Pennsylvania border, nothing but farms.
hmm
You'll see nothing but like maybe a
Yeah.
silo. So,
Yeah. I mean, in Fargo, I mean, Fargo's a lot smaller of a city than, probably one borough.
mm-hmm.
But that's how it is around here too. The
Yeah.
further south you go, the more expensive it's going to be. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
school district, school district, school. My brother rents an apartment in a school district that he doesn't live in, just so
Mm.
he can send his kid to that school.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
thing,
That
That's
I've
the
heard
what.
I've heard horror stories that the yard will be like split just around like the jurisdiction of like a school district where the house itself will be in the unfavorable district, but like the doghouse in the corner of the backyard will be in the district,
Yeah,
and then the parents will freak out. They'll be like, "You told us that this was in the district," and the realtor will say,
yeah.
"No, it's not." And they're like, "Well, part of our property's in the district. Can we do that?" It said, "Unless the daughter is living in the doghouse, no, and don't
You're
put
right.
her in the doghouse."
You
So,
So, one more question too.
yep.
Like, let's say you don't have to think about school districts and stuff like that and kids. Like, if it was just you and your lady friend,
Yeah.
would it be more appealing just for you to stay in the city? Is that kind of do you love the city, or is it something that you're not gonna miss?
That is so hard because, it wasn't until my stepdaughter that I really, like I before I met my girlfriend and my stepdaughter, I was so into metropolitan life and
Yeah,
wanting to just be around. I mean, I still am. I love to be around people. I love performing for people. I love,
yeah,
putting on shows for people and being around. And when you're in the city, there's just a electric vibe that you can just feel off of everybody. Everybody's got somewhere to be, and you get to be one of those people, and you're around, the concrete jungle, and everything is lit up, and it's amazing. I love it. Some people don't like it. It's an acquired taste. I personally love it. But
yep,
looking at what my stepdaughter will now need in terms of having a good life, especially since she came from like the lowest 3% in schools, like outside of her school, a block
yeah,
away, some of the worst gang violence in the town,
yeah,
just a block away from the elementary school. So after that, I'm like, okay, we want a dog, another child, a child of like my own blood.
mhm,
We want a
yeah,
nice sizable yard for everything. And so my priorities have completely changed to me wanting to like conquer the world with international travel to just having a successful family somewhere in the suburbs, but some of these houses are like double what they literally were last year alone because of inflation. And it's just
yep,
so hard to look at these. You're looking at $400,000 houses that are barely move-in ready around here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well, like in Fargo, that's kind of how it is. I live in an apartment. I live in a cheap apartment, an old apartment,
yeah.
for reasons of cheap rent.
Yeah.
I have like I was telling you, I have a 2 bedroom, 2 bath,
Hmm.
um, kitchen, living room, one stall garage, no balcony, but I pay under $600 for rent.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, like just for rent, I pay it's probably about 650 actually. Well, now that I can think about it, I when I first moved here, it was 590 a month. So, but I live in the neighborhood that's like kind of the older neighborhood. Like if you wanted your first house, it would either be West Fargo where I live or North Fargo,
Hmm.
because you can get a house for 200 grand. That's a house. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you can get a pretty good house. It was
Hmm.
built in probably the 70s or something like that. And then you go north or you go south, and you're looking at there's $5 million houses to $500,000 houses
Yeah.
that are cheap, shitty new houses
Hmm.
that paper thin walls
Hmm.
that are just junk.
Yeah.
So it's like you would want to stick with this neighborhood. It's cheaper, better houses, and everything in Fargo has become. I don't know of how it is in like those areas. Everything's cookie cutter. Every
Hmm.
neighborhood. It's kind of like you probably haven't seen this movie. It's Vivarium.
Nope.
But in Vivarium, every house looks the same. It's the same color, everything.
Yeah.
It's just like it's that. It's just there's no unique housing anymore, unless you want
Yeah.
to spend $5 million.
Right. Exactly. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
the average rent around here for beginner people to start, like college kids, is 4 months of your rent.
Oh yeah, 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 for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Like
Unbelievable. You suck.
yeah, basically, basically my half of rent, and then my brother and I we share a cell phone bill. So my half of the cell phone bill, my half of rent, my car payment, my car insurance, half of my streaming services, and my grocery bill is about $1,300 a month.
I will end this call right now.
It's cheap,
Like
man.
that
Like
hurts me on a visceral level.
I'm in like I took this job, this new job that I have. Unfortunately, I have to work holidays, but there's an upside. I can put away 3 paychecks and not touch them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm saving money, and it's like the first time in my life that I'm actually saving money and not spending it hand
Mm.
over fist for shit
Mm-hmm.
and just being broke.
Yeah.
So better spot as far as that. So I can pay all my bills with 1 week of payment.
Yeah.
So
That is,
I'm happy.
that's an interesting topic for another episode. Is to like just like the effect of saving money for millennials.
It's
That's a whole
hard.
different thing.
It's
Yeah,
so hard.
yeah.
Well,
But
it's because I was gonna
let's
say
keep
I'm
that let's keep that one for the
yeah.
let's keep that one for 2026. We'll see how we come
I'm
out after the New Year's. We wanted to talk about the holidays. We wanted to update you guys on what we're doing. We want to obviously know what you guys are doing. If you want to tell us what you're doing for the holidays, let us know in the comments down below. But there's some pressing news that we got to talk about. That's something that just happened last night. So for those of you out there who are wrestling fans, we are passionate wrestling fans, and it's no surprise John Cena performed his final match of his career last night at Saturday night's main event at Washington, D.C. against Gunther. John, you've been out of the game for a little bit. You were a real Attitude Era fan. Do you do you know who Gunther is?
I do. It's
Okay.
I have seen Gunther. I'm not like too crazy familiar with him, but yes,
Yeah.
I do. Like you said the name.
He is very old school. You would like him. He doesn't do a lot of flashy things, but he makes the simple moves look like they hurt like hell. Like he chops,
Yeah.
real naked chokeholds. He can turn a story out of anybody, and he's incredible. So he was the winner of the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament to determine who his last opponent was going to be. And the end was somewhat controversial, but we can get into it. What did you have to say?
Well, did you said the end was a little bit controversial. People weren't too happy about that.
Yeah.
Was it at least because okay, I'm gonna be honest. I did not see the match.
Yep.
I knew a little bit of grumblings about it, but you filled me in quite a bit on it. And was it at least a good match? You know what I mean?
So,
like was it something to hold on to as his legacy kind of thing?
Objectively, in my opinion, no. And arguably, not a lot of John Cena matches follow the template of a really good match. What makes a good match good for at least John Cena is the storyline and the build up towards it. But in terms of what John Cena can do, I mean, there's a reason why they call his moveset the 5 moves of doom, because he has those same 5 moves: shoulder block, 5-knuckle shuffle, SGF, attitude adjustment, that backbreaker, that back body drop that he does on people before he does the you can't see me 5-knuckle shuffle. He doesn't go outside of that too much, and he has always been terrible at taking bumps. You bump, you hit him, he kind of does this little like stiff sideways, like he's like halfway through rigor mortis, and he
doesn't sell it.
No, he barely sells it. He's terrible at hiding his calls when he's calling moves. You can see his mouth moving like a mile away. And so technically he's never been that guy. But what's always made him that guy is, one, he's one of the top merch sellers of all time, one of the most incredible baby faces of all time, incredible on the mic, and he can push a story. And so he was that guy that Vince McMahon loved this whole time. So looking at this match, their matches prior, he did a bunch of other people's moves to pay homage to them and tribute them, and that was a nice final tip of the cap. This was the final match that was really just him. He was there to play the hits, to do the 5 moves of doom, and the crowd was into it. They paid thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, literally, to see this last match, and he did everything. And then at the very end, Gunther chokes him out, and he taps. And the symbolism of this is that Cena is Mr. Never Give Up. And I think they said on the over the announcement that he has not tapped out in like 10 or 15 years. And so this was the very first time that he was doing it. It looked kind of lackluster. Gunther had been applying the rear naked choke for quite some time. Cena was fighting out. And then at the very last moment, Cena, a little smile comes across his face and just ever so lightly he just taps out.
Oh,
Still smiling. And so my take on it is that it was his final acknowledgement that of his catchphrase, "Your time is up, my time is now." The reverse of it saying, "My time is up, your time is now." Gunther, despite him being in his 40s, is the future of the company. And Cena has
okay.
always been called as having that magic golden shovel to bury younger talent for his own
Mhm.
ego, for his own ambitions. To see him finally pass the torch on to somebody else, because whoever retires John Cena has an incredible accolade to their name. Mind you, earlier
Yeah.
this year, Gunther retired Goldberg too. So now Gunther is
Okay.
unstoppable, and I think he's the second longest reigning Intercontinental Championship or champion. He brought prestige to that belt. But with John Cena, now you've retired him. That's an incredible accolade, and you choked him out too, which is even better. But that little smile across his face almost said everything you needed to hear, which was, this is it. This is my final time. Thank you for
Mhm.
everything. I'm done. And
Yeah,
the crowd though was dead
into
silent.
it.
If you go back in the highlights, the shots of the crowd, they are stunned. And then after Gunther's music plays and he gets his hand raised, Triple H comes out. The boos, they were chanting "You fucked up." They're chanting bullshit. They were pissed that Cena lost his
Oh,
last match.
classy wrestling fans. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. But like
Um,
the move has always been to pass the torch. The older talent passing the torch to the younger talent, because the last thing that you can do in your career is to ensure that the business continues. So
mhm.
I get it.
That's
I have a
good.
problem with what happened here, but I get it.
Mhm. That's kind of. I was going to ask you one thing before, two things, or I was going to talk about two things. But one thing I was going to ask was the location of this match significant in any way
No, it was DC.
to John Cena?
No, no,
Okay,
no.
it was
He
okay.
a few months ago he had his last match in the TD Garden in Boston, which is where he's from. But other
Okay.
than that, this was just DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, John Cena, like when I was still watching wrestling and stuff,
Yep.
he came out when I was still in high school. I think it was sophomore in high school or something like that, when he was getting big. And he was kind of like that Kurt Angle, where he was a big guy,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't bigger than a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was just rounding that corner when I
Yeah.
kind of quit watching, because I mean you still had your, Brock Lesnar was still wrestling. You had
Yeah.
your, you had a lot of your old school guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were still doing it. So like he was very much that new school guy,
Yeah.
but it was weird because some people come into the scene and the wrestling scene and you really have to build their character.
Yeah.
Like you really have to build who they are and what
Mm-hmm.
and where they came from and stuff like that. John Cena didn't really seem like that
Mm.
kind of character, but he wasn't on that pedestal yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was
Yeah.
still kind of climbing the ladder,
Yeah.
but everyone knew who John Cena was like right away. It
Well,
was a weird transition to like
yeah.
starting out and then kind of being in the spotlight a lot.
Well, it's funny that you say that because when he first debuted, he was a generic guy. He just
Yeah.
attacked Kurt Angle, and he was about to get fired. Until one day, it was nearing the end. He was on a tour bus with everybody, and Stephanie McMahon was on that tour bus, and everybody was freestyling in the back, like Rey Mysterio. I forget who else was doing it. And John Cena just started rapping, just started freestyling, and Stephanie calls him over and says, "How did you remember all that?" He's like, I didn't. I just improvised it. I just freestyled it. She said,
Mhm.
"Do you think you could do that on TV?" And he said, "Absolutely." And
Yeah.
then the Doctor of Thugonomics was born. And then
I
after
had a
that, yeah, he was unimpeachable.
Yeah, I didn't know much about his rap career, but there was a kid in my class named Daniel, and he
Mm,
was super into wrestling. Like he was like you right now. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like he was in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like every John Cena album and stuff like that, and he would play
Yeah.
it for me and stuff like that. And then it wasn't too bad. It had that cheese factor to it just because he
Yeah. Yeah.
was John Cena. But like it wasn't bad. It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember. He always wear like he always wore like jerseys and stuff like that, right?
When he
Like even
was
when
the
he kind
doctor of
of came up.
thugonomics, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's always kind of had the in jean shorts. He's always
The jorts
always
have
wore
always been a thing,
jean
yeah.
shorts. Yeah, but yeah, I remember him kind of. It was weird because like I said, he was there as a new guy, and then all of a sudden he's
Hmm.
he's doing like the main events and stuff like that on pay
Yeah.
per views. So it was you don't see transitions like that very often. And I do remember back when I watched it, when somebody retired,
Yep.
Vince McMahon took that spotlight, and what did he say? You're fired
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know they've been
all the time.
there was a rumor that he was going to show up last
Oh yeah,
night, and he didn't, but they were playing packages with his face on it just to kind of test the waters to see if it's okay for him to come back. And but
yeah.
he's going to make his way back. It's only a matter of time.
He
Um,
doesn't even look. He doesn't even look real anymore. He looks like he's made of wax.
I
You know what I
know,
mean?
but
It's so much
they're
plastic
testing the
surgery.
water to see if the fans want him back because after everything that's he's been implicated in.
Yeah,
So,
that documentary was a rough one for his image, I would say.
what do you know about the lawsuit?
Um, what I remember he got caught doing some not so savory things with
So,
women. I
well,
remember that.
so he's currently under investigation because of a lawsuit from one of his former staffers for sex trafficking,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Mhm.
Lesnar is implied in that too. But Lesnar is said to be retiring next year
That's right.
too.
Yeah,
It
that's
looks like
right.
they're
You told me
building
that.
from what I'm seeing. It looks like they're building it up to be Lesnar and Gunther. If Gunther can say that he retired 3 legends, that would be crazy for him.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so my biggest gripe with this match is
Mhm.
not the finish, it's the build up to it. Everybody asks, well, what's the difference between wrestling and UFC? It's like UFC has no emotion. It's just fight, and if the match is over in 2 seconds, it's over in 2 seconds. That's it. Wrestling is all about obviously it's fake, obviously it's artificial and it's pre-planned, but it's all in the service of the story. The storyline commences with the promos, with all of the attacks and the nefarious things that happened before. The match is the culmination of that story. The story
Mhm.
should reach a breaking point that can only be solved in the ring once and for all. That's what it
Yeah.
is. This, however, was the culmination of a tournament to decide who the last person was to face Cena. There was no real build up other than 2 weeks prior after Gunther won, and then it was just last match. Like, if you had spent months building this last opponent up to create some importance
Mhm.
under it and say you're Mr. Never Give Up, I'm Mr. Tap Everybody Out. I will make
Yeah.
you give up. I make you give up, and then finally, he at the very end he taps and gives up. There's a little bit more emotional weight to it, but it was just so quick that I couldn't get
Yeah.
invested in it.
The sale was worth more than the sizzle. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much,
It
yeah,
just wasn't.
yeah,
I mean, the lead up to it was
yeah,
a
and
lot more.
because like nobody's gonna not watch his last match. It's
Oh,
just
for
how
sure.
invested in it are you, other than the fact that it's just John Cena's last match, and it just shows you how artificial it is because like
Mhm.
people were pissed not at Gunther for winning. They were pissed at Triple H for booking the finish like that.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got booed to hell
That's
when he came out.
I was gonna ask you too. Like, I hear a lot of different things like from him, like as just a person.
Mm.
Is John Cena kind of a dick, or is he like a nice person? Like, have you
I
ever met John Cena? Because
I
you go to a lot of those expos and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't personally met him. I know he sounds very formal. Not at the expense of not ever being his friend. You would probably never know if you're getting a real genuine moment. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
he's the biggest Make-A-Wish like person that all the kids call on John Cena to visit them, all the Make-A-Wish kids. But like when I see him in interviews, he's just very formal, almost militaristic. And it was like, I'm like, thank you, I'm happy to be here, thank you so much, happy to be here. And like
Same.
unless you're an actual friend or his wife, I imagine that's not the real personality that you're getting. He's
Yeah.
probably no nonsense, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything dickish other than some of his booking choices and his influence behind the stage.
Yeah, I remember there was a story about Bert Kreischer. You know who Bert Kreischer
Yep,
is?
yep.
His father, Bert Kreischer was picking his father up from the airport, and his father sat beside John Cena
Mm.
on the plane, not knowing who he was. And he said he was telling Bert that he's like, you wouldn't believe this guy. He played Candy Crush for 4 hours, didn't pick up a paper, didn't write down a thought, didn't like think of to do anything like that, and then he didn't know who it was. And then the guy told Bert Kreischer that your dad sat by John Cena. So apparently he loves Candy Crush.
But in this day and age, who is gonna be writing shit down on paper on a plane anyway?
Bert Kreischer's father is a very old school guy. He's an
Yeah,
attorney, so he's like,
gotcha. Yeah, but
it's
yeah,
just them.
yeah, it was still good. It's either way. No matter how you slice it, if it's the way that Cena wanted to go out, it's the way he wanted to go out.
Yep.
I know initially he wanted like 200 dates for his last retirement go around. They only gave him, I forget how many they gave him, but it was nowhere near 200.
Yeah.
But he played the final hits. He faced some of his old opponents. He faced CM Punk. He faced R-Truth. He faced AJ Styles, and wrestlers from all different companies paid homage to him as well. So even in AEW, Samoa Joe paid homage to him. Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, paid homage to him by doing like the five knuckle shuffle, AA, all that stuff, which is nice to see. Like even in a competitive world, you still have people respecting the other, especially like somebody like Edge, who's had such a storied feud with John Cena from the Attitude Era. Him, Randy Orton, yeah.
Well, it's interesting because like not very many people get like seen out like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even Stone Cold, he didn't have like no one knew he was retiring. They knew, but they didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, just.
And that's another thing, is that Cena is very lucky that he is going out on his own terms, because Stone Cold got retired because of the neck injury.
Yep.
But also because of Hollywood. And he says he's not coming back. And this is one of the few times that I actually believe a wrestler, because I was so betrayed after Shawn Michaels said he would never come back. And then he came back for a boatload of cash in Saudi Arabia. And it was a train wreck. It was awful.
There's always a price. Like they say, they'll never come back. There's always a price. Stone Cold, you don't think he's gonna for $100,000? I'll come back and drink a few beers and in the ring.
Right, and that's all you need to do. And same thing with Cena. All you need to do is just like go in, give somebody an AA, which is essentially just a fireman's carry with a jump, and that's pretty much it. But like in terms of wrestling, again, we can already see his wrestling. It wasn't that great to begin with, and it's definitely worse now. So it's not like, I'm worried that if you come back, I'll remember you differently because this is the last great memory I had. This wasn't a great memory. This was a good final match for you because you got to play all the hits, play to the crowd. Everybody was in the crowd. RVD, Trish Stratus, everybody was there. But like, there's nothing left you really have to do or prove.
Yeah. But you have to understand it also worked because the crowd reaction, they got a reaction out of it. Reaction they wanted. They probably didn't want a good reaction out of it. And then on top of that too, you and I are talking about it. So it's
exactly. They're all about creating moments. And I think when they were weighing the options, do we satisfy the fan base or do we send him out the way that it's supposed to be done? Ergo, continuing the business and ensuring that the future storylines are impacted because of this one moment. They say his last match isn't a final, chapter ender or story ender. It's a chapter ender, and the next chapter begins where Gunther comes out of this that much stronger to go and face Brock Lesnar to retire him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's a lot of angles you could do about it. This could be a setup for Cena to come back as for a surprise guest thing as a heel. You know what I mean? Everyone hates him already. Why not?
Did you watch his heel run?
Oh yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, I saw
highlights of it.
Yeah, the initial heel moment was amazing. It was incredible. Like, it was so incredible. I remember exactly where I was and what I was eating at that moment. Everything after that was a train wreck. but
Yeah,
that was just for a whole bunch of political reasons backstage.
yeah. I
So,
love for him, he became a heel, but he was still kind of a fan favorite a little bit. You know what I mean? I always find those interesting because Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was always a heel, but he was also one of the biggest draws, the fan
well,
favorite kind of person. You know what I mean? Like The Rock was always a heel.
no,
Like he seemed,
Rock was a face too. See, here's the difference. I think there's a difference between a heel and an anti-hero. Because the
okay,
heel is somebody that the crowd boos. Anti-hero is anti-establishment, seems to be doing things that are underhanded, but he still gets away with it, and because people love him. So, for example, CM Punk.
yeah,
CM Punk shat on the company left and right, up and down, and still everybody cheered him because he was the rebel underdog. He complained that he was going to take the title and run off with it after his contract expired, and people loved him for it. And that's kind of what Stone Cold was. He was anti-establishment, and then
yeah,
it wasn't until he signed on with Vince McMahon and turned on everybody that he really became a heel. Because then people started booing
yeah.
him.
One thing about Brock Lesnar,
Yeah,
I think his Alexandria home is for sale. I saw online
for
already.
how much?
I did, to be honest. Brock Lesnar did not. He lived a relatively modest life when he lives in Alexandria. That's about 100 miles away from Fargo,
I
and
know
his
he's
house
always
is
covered in some animal's blood.
it's very much that kind of a house. It's like it's I think he has like a well he became like a butcher and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's like a processing room
Yeah,
and stuff like that on there, but it's fairly modest. It's I mean, it's got a few acres of property,
yeah,
and then the house itself, like if you saw the house, you would be like, that's not
yeah. I'm
crazy at
looking at it
all.
right now. It's sold it in 2014 for 750,000.
Isn't it up for sale again? I thought it was up for sale
Is it
again.
up for sale again?
Maybe
Uh
not. Maybe they were just
oh,
doing a
wait.
tour of it.
Brock Lesnar pins down 750K sale of 43-acre estate. This is from, oh wait, that's 2014. 2024. Sanctuary in Minnesota. It looks pretty though.
It's
Price
a nice
800 to
house.
1.1 million.
Yeah,
4 bedroom, 4 bed. Yeah,
but
so he
that's
owns a farm in Saskatchewan now.
yep. But like that's with how many acres of land too. You know what I mean?
Yep,
It's
yep,
like
yeah.
that's a ton of land.
Allow
But
Brock Lesnar to run around and frolic.
oh yeah, like it's kind of he lived. My buddy went to college in Alexandria, and he knew like Brock Lesnar. Not too many people really messed with him or went to his property and stuff
Well, I
like that. You
wonder
would see him
fucking
around
why.
town. He was a My buddy told me he was a relatively cool guy. Like he would see him in Sable and stuff like that in Alexandria,
Yeah.
shopping and stuff like that. And he's approachable. Like Brock Lesnar's not a dick. He's a dick, but he's not a dick. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
he sells that kind of sizzle. But like he's like people have known Brock Lesnar in this area ever since he was in high school. He's from
yeah.
South Dakota. He went to college in Bismarck and in Minneapolis. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think the reputation that you can kill somebody with your bare hands, knowing that precedes you now,
Mhm.
like you don't have to
Yeah.
put on a show. Like you could just
Well,
be a nice guy.
I think most of the people that would say Brock Lesnar is a dick approach him wrong. You know what I mean? Kind of because I've met Brock Lesnar. He used to come to bars in Fargo all the time, just
Yeah.
as like meet and greets and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He's a pretty down to earth guy. Like he's a hunter. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? If you want to talk hunting with Brock Lesnar, he'll
Yeah.
talk hunting,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I think people approach him wrong. I think people approach him as tough guys, and I think
Well,
that's where you get
that and
that
they
kind of
probably approach him as a celebrity. So like if I was doing whatever I was doing as a
Mhm.
celebrity and I had a project and I was up until from 5 a.m. probably to like 6 at night, and the last thing I wanted to do was just, was be around any more people, and I wanted to go and decompress. If I'm walking to my car and some guy tries to shove like a picture in my face with a pen to get me to sign it and I don't do it, that guy's
Yeah.
going to think I'm a dick, even though I've just had it for the day. So it
Mhm.
could just be a matter of like us holding celebrities to this like kind of like obtainable standard that they are
Yep.
at our beck and call. And when they're not, when they react angrily or annoyed, we call them dicks when they're, honestly, we're the ones shoving things in their face to sign.
I have I have one rule, and I kind of made this rule for myself when I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
When I meet people
Hmm.
on like a celebrity basis, like they're celebrities and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I will not ask for an autograph, and I
Yep.
will not ask for a picture.
Yep.
If they want to ask me if I want one, then I'll
Hmm.
make that decision. But I will not ask. I
Yep.
will. I like to. If you meet them on their level, they will talk to you like a lot
Yeah.
longer than you would assume. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and like for the most part, like when I meet celebrities and stuff like that, I don't even meet them. I'll
Yeah.
just kind of I'll give them a head nod, and
Hmm.
then they'll just be like, they'll wave, and I'll just be
Yeah.
like I know who
Yeah.
you are,
From my
and I
time
don't
on, yeah,
a distance.
from my time on set working with celebrities, what I've noticed is that um, if it's not relieving that you
Mhm.
just shake their hand and keep it moving, if it's not relieving, it's at least intriguing to them because they're just so
Yeah.
used to being inundated with attention that the second that there's
Mhm.
somebody that they're around who won't be mobbing them with any sort of like question or thing to sign, like that's a safe space in my mind. That's a safe space to go
Yeah.
and be around that person because that person's not going to drive you insane and you're not going to have to like hide
Mhm.
your face and run up to your hotel room again.
Well, it's like the way I look at it, like the way I've kind of compartmentalized it in my mind is people you go to a concert and what do you see? Everyone recording it with their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to live in the moment.
Oh
You know what I
yeah, I
mean? Just
know.
fucking put your phone away and just live in the moment. If you meet a celebrity, put your fucking phone away. Talk
Mm-hmm.
to them as a person. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Live in the moment and say, "Hey, I met so and so." No, you didn't. Well, whatever. I
yeah.
don't care if whatever.
That reminds me of like looking at like on YouTube and Instagram and just seeing all these genuine
Mhm.
moments, but they're from like the POV of the person who's doing the genuine moment. I'm like
Yeah.
like either you're doing this because you're just trying to create content or you're just like it's there's something going on that makes you feel compelled to record why you're doing a good thing. And it's because you're
Sure.
looking for the credibility and that just completely
Mhm.
ruins whatever you're doing for me.
Mhm. And
Unless
like
it's
a good
like unless it's like the old man, the 80-year-old veteran who just retired because they do you see the story?
which one?
There's an 80-year-old veteran whose wife passed away and he never got his army pension and his wife passed away of cancer and he had to use all of his money for her and he was in like $200,000 debt or something like that. He's still working at the grocery store at 88 years old to try to, pay off his debt and he can't retire. So an Australian TikToker got wind of this, started a GoFundMe. They raised like $1.2 million
Yeah.
for this guy
Mhm.
and then they presented it to it. Obviously it was already picked up by the news crews and of course this guy
Mhm.
on TikTok was recording the whole thing. But that's still like that's okay because that's a gesture of goodwill. You're not doing it to make yourself look better. You're doing it to literally just get this guy to retire.
Yeah. And like stuff like that too. Like when I donate stuff to like everyone like I'll use this as an example. Like when you donate to like a Goodwill or something like that, they always give you tax information for tax write offs and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I know,
Like
I know.
I tell them I don't want it. Just take my shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't I fill out a tax form for what the $4 I'm gonna get it. You know what I mean?
That's why I always kind of feel iffy
Just take it.
whenever a store asks me if I want to round up for the certain cause. I'm like, you guys are getting the tax write off from my contribution. I don't think
Yeah.
that's right. So no. If I
Well,
want to
I
donate to
always
Ronald McDonald House, which I do, I will do it
yep.
myself.
It's always usually when I round up pretty much every time. I wanna assume it's going to the place it should be,
Hmm.
but I guess I don't put that much thought into it, and I probably should. But as far as when I tip at a restaurant or bar, I always ask, does a percentage go to the house?
Yeah,
Because if a percentage goes to the house, I give them cash and I say, put this in your fucking pocket. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because
yeah,
no, I'm not
yeah.
tipping the house.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But
You know what I mean?
I guess moral of the story is find whatever way you want this holiday season to donate to the charities that need it the most. It's really important, guys. We are donating everywhere that we can. It's really a great thing. If you guys have any other charities that you want us to start considering, hey, leave them in the comments
Mhm.
down below. We'll take a look at them and we'll start promoting them. John, anything
Yeah,
else you wanted to say before the end of the year?
I was gonna say on top of that, like donate what you can. Yeah, if you donate your time or donate an item. One of the easiest things I find in the store is the toy drives.
Hmm.
If you buy a toy and just put it in that box, whatever it
Yeah.
goes,
You know what?
we've all known a kid that didn't get a lot for Christmas. Just fuck that.
Right.
Get him something.
Right. And that brings up a really good point, is that we can't ignore the fact that this year has been a very tough year for everybody.
Yep.
It's been a year. It deserves a year in reflection, and we could probably do a bonus episode on that sometime before the year's end. If whatever you donate, it doesn't have to be money. If it's old cans of food, soup, anything like that for a food drive, even volunteering your time somewhere to help out at a soup kitchen or something, or giving somebody a bottle of water on the street, or like John said, that old toy that you don't need anymore and donating that, something like that is something that somebody doesn't have that they absolutely need. And if you can give that, you are that much better of a person, and that person will have that much better of a 2025 and a life. So,
well, one thing too, one big thing too is hats, and especially in my area too. If you can donate hats and gloves to homeless shelters, blankets, and then another thing is school bags, like school bags to kids and stuff like that. Just, I don't know, small gestures mean a lot to people that don't have a lot. So
we did a thing in school where it was a social project where we wrote down everything that we physically touched and had in a single day, and then we just imagined if any one of those things were missing, would that impact our day? And then it put us more into the mindset of people who really don't have the things that we have, and we don't think about it until we really think about it. So
I was gonna say that, like, a couple days ago, I go to a car wash regularly. I flipped the guy $20 and said Happy Holidays. Just small stuff like that. If you know a guy's making $10 an hour, flip him 20. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
Small things to the people that you think won't need it. Just especially kids. No kid should go, a Christmas without opening something.
Exactly. Well, we are exceptionally grateful for you guys being here, listening to us this entire year. As the start of the Mad Media podcast, we're going to be starting more things next year. We're going to be coming out with a whole different new content, like music reactions, all these live streams that we're planning on doing. We're sticking with it, so we appreciate you guys listening and watching. Thank you guys so much. I'm Ryder.
I'm John.
We'll see you in the next year.
Happy holidays.